Hello, my name is Sean on Prairie Badger, and I'd like to talk today about the Clan MacLeod Highlander sword from the movie The Highlander, starring Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery. So make yourself comfortable, grab a coffee or a tea, and relax and sit back. So the tang goes through the handle all the way through to the bottom. This twists on, which is very traditional. There's no vibration or play in the handle. It has real leather wrapping, and it's snug and fit. I've had this sword for about 20 years now, and I've actually used it quite a bit for test cutting on plastic bottles, and this stitching has never failed. The wire wrap is very snug and tight so that you could wear gloves. I've actually used it barehanded and it was perfectly fine. So if my hands were slippery, they would not slide on this handle. In fact, it's probably, of all the swords I've had, one of the most comfortable grips that I've ever had. The hilt here is made of a nice metal, and it has Celtic drawings on it, with the name MacLeod on it for the Clan MacLeod. Connor MacLeod came from in the movie, played by Christopher Lambert. This is a traditional Scottish pommel. It's very beautiful, well made, and is placed on in snug fit. I do believe there might be some sort of thread lock or something holding it on, because in the 20 years of owning this, I've never had it come loose. Now with other swords, if you don't know the make or the maker of it, you want to be very careful. I've been very lucky because Windlass makes very good reproduction swords that were made to be functional for the British Army, and for hundreds of years actually. And it's been passed down through their family. So it is full tang. It has a really good vibration to it. It's not flimsy, or it doesn't flop around. Now for a display sword, Windlass is probably one of the best companies. I really like them. They're based out of India. They do make functional reproduction replicas that are made for display or function. If you do buy from a different company and you're not sure about it and you don't know the makers and if they've actually made functional swords, do not use a display sword for practice, even to swing in the air or even to cut plastic bottles with. Because I've seen videos with my wife where blades have actually broken off just by swinging like this. The tang broke off and went flying through the air. Now the problem with that is the heat treatment of the tang, if it's too much or too little, or if it's welded at the base of the blade, can actually break off in the handle or above the handle and cause it to come flying out. Not only can the blade come flying out, but the wood could separate in cheaper swords, and then the broken part of the tang can come through the handle and cut through your hand. I've seen pictures of that as well. I've never experienced it myself, and the reason for that is I don't like to buy cheap reproduction swords for display and use them as toys or practice. I do have some experience in HEMA and martial arts, such as Kali, Eskrima, and Salat. So when I use a sword, I'm using it with training and proper guidance and supervision since I was about 8 or 9 years old. So this is not something you want to play with without proper training. If you do want to get training, seek someone locally that has a good reputation and get actual training and guidance from them, because a sword, when swung, is a sharp edge, either one or both sides, and can be very dangerous to you and the people around you. And if it's made of a lesser quality, it could actually break and fail during practice. So safety is always important. Wear proper safety equipment, goggles, helmets, gloves, shin guards and padding. Blades do have a tendency to come down, so if you do swing a sword around and you're not properly trained, you could end up cutting yourself in places you didn't think you could cut yourself. You also want to have an open room or space outside or in a proper training hall. You don't want to cut your ceiling and hit a light fixture and get electrocuted, or damage your house or your apartment wherever you're living. So okay, this is a good sword, good company. Very happy with the purchase. It's done pretty well. I haven't oiled it all the time, and I haven't properly sharpened it all the time, and it's still held up very well. So all in all considered, for the price and the product, I highly recommend Windlass Swords, the Swordcraft. There are other companies as well you can look up online. I'm not familiar with all their products. I haven't tried all of them yet, but if you want to give them a try, look up the reviews first online, see what other people are saying. So this is my sword hanger. It can hold up to 3 swords. It has hangers on the back. It's made of a good quality wood. You can display a katana or a broadsword on it like that. Now, I also have a safe. I highly suggest a safe or a locker with a lock on it. If you have pets or children, it's very important for safety reasons to keep these out of the way. Whether it be a display sword or a functional display sword, it's always important because they are also not only a decoration but a deadly weapon. You would not want this in the hands of a child, or if you're practicing or posing, make sure you lock your pets up if you have them into a different room and they don't get out, and make sure children aren't playing around as you're doing so as well. It's very easy to get into the moment and forget and accidentally injure someone or a pet that you really love and care about. Being that it's £1.25 pounds or £1.50 pounds, it doesn't seem like it's very heavy, but in a swing it would be very hard to pull back in time if you had to. So be very careful. Always recommend safety and awareness when practicing, whether it be in your backyard, your apartment, or your house, or training hall. There's always going to be someone coming up around you. So yes, this sword, it's a very good buy. Check it out online. Now the prices may vary and change for where you live. These could be anywhere between $150 to $200. Some sites might have it for less, so be careful. Check out the source and the reviews on it. These can range anywhere from $15 to $30 depending where you live, whether it be American, Canadian, UK, or overseas. Nice to have on display. You want to have it high up and out of the way of little hands or paws. Even a curious cat or dog could bring them down, and that would be bad. And yes, you can always use really good safety hooks or screws. Make sure they're in studs in the wall. Drywall, anchors are highly recommended. You don't want to wreck your drywall or take the risk of something slowly over time falling off the wall because of weight. It is going to be heavier than a picture frame or photo, so keep that in mind. And yeah, so for displaying, collecting, or practicing, whether you're doing cosplay or HEMA or anything, always be careful, mindful, wear proper safety equipment, be aware of your surroundings, make sure you're alone or in a properly supervised area, and yeah, do some research online, check out reviews. There are videos online. There are a lot of good YouTubers with some good channels as well you might want to check out, and get a little background and history on the weapon that you're buying. And also have fun, enjoy, and thank you very much. I appreciate you watching today. If you like, click on the bell, like and subscribe and share. And I appreciate you spending your time with me today. Thank you so much. Take care.